But before you can set up your checkpoints, you've got to first move out and create a perimeter.
Some doofus jerk-off reporter with a camera crew waltzes right into his hideout and interviews him. And I'm telling you, be prepared for a major attack. But it won't be Osama bin Laden. It will be those behind the New World Order. I wonder what...
But once you have a paramilitary force, you can send that paramilitary force to intimidate civilians. Blackwater has close ties to the White House. Their business plan calls for increased deployment in America, and they just got a $1 billion contract. The fourth thing is to create a surveillance apparatus aimed at ordinary citizens.
Jim, thanks for joining us. Well, you know, we've seen what's happened with the dollar. We've seen what's happening with commodities. What are you making of it all?
Well, I find it outrageous that the Federal Reserve is just throwing the dollar out the window. I happen to be an American citizen, and they are signaling to the whole world that they have given up on the dollar. They've been signaling for months. Anybody listening or watching this show should get out of his dollar. The Fed has given up.
Do you really think so? We've had comments that they're still in favor of a strong dollar policy.
Please. Do we even bother reporting that anymore? Poor Hank Paul had a reasonable education and a reasonable good career, head of Goldman Sachs. Now he goes around the world making a fool out of himself. Goes around saying we want a strong dollar. The next day he goes to China and says we want a weak dollar. Then he goes to Japan and says we want a weak dollar. I mean, you have to feel sorry for the guy. At least I do.
Being stolen. People who have saved, they're being robbed. I mean, if you have a devaluation of the dollar at 10%, people have been robbed at 10%. But how can you pursue this policy without addressing the subject that somebody's losing their wealth because of a weaker dollar? And it's going to lead to higher interest rates and a weaker economy.
When you inflate a currency or destroy a currency, the middle class gets wiped out. So the people who get to use the money first, which is created by the Federal Reserve System, benefit. So the money gravitates to the banks.
Full-time workers, $46.4 trillion represents $375,000 for every full-time worker. In America, the most common is a dual-income household for a variety of reasons. So that's like having a $750,000 mortgage and no house. And these numbers are going up every second of every minute of every day.
Is where you're exchanging value for value. The unfortunate part about a direct barter is that I may have something that you don't want, so we can't get a direct trade, and that's where money came in, our medium of exchange. No money system has ever survived. They all collapse because the medium of exchange is being misused. We can't make a living anymore on what I'm earning. And you can see it, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. We're already seeing the obvious thing about homes. All these homes for sale are vacant. People can't get into them. And it's all because of the poor exchange of value for something that's real, for something that's fictitious now, what they call money. It loses its value in the trade. So that's what's occurring. Most people don't understand that. They just know they've been hit by this Mack truck, and they're angry, frustrated about it. The sobering thing about it, when it does collapse, you can't imagine everything I've read, how creative they become. They get sober real quick. They suddenly realize I gave somebody else responsible for my life, and now I'm paying the consequences for it. They learn very quickly that way. When it finally gets to a point where he can't get enough units of money to buy and satisfy his family's needs, then a change is imminent. It's usually about a 2-year period until the switch. Now, the Depression was a little longer, but usually it's about a 2-year period until the people readjust. But I think we should, when the next time that occurs, is we should take advantage of it.
They never stop thinking about new ways to harm our country and our people, and neither do we.
It'll take time to restore chaos.
They want us to leave. That's what they want us to do. And I think the world would be better off if we did leave.